Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Walmart laying off over 1,500 people, or at least cutting jobs, which will result in many layoffs. And this comes as they want to streamline operations. Walmart is a major player in the world of cord cutting. They own Vizio, they own Google TVs, very popular Onn brand of streaming players, and they're one of the largest sellers of Roku TVs through their own Onn branded Roku TVs. We'll tell you what's happening there, why you should pay attention to this. Also, AT&T is getting the band back together. They're buying CenturyLink's parent company. These two competitors were once part of the big Ma Bell back in the day, and now they're coming back together. Pending regulatory approval, we'll break that down. And lastly, before we get into all the other stories, we'll talk about Roku launching the Roku City App, giving you access to the Roku City, available on Roku TVs and Roku players. We'll tell you what's happening. First though, you can find a link to every story I'm about to talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment, so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'll love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. All right, let's dive into it. Walmart this week announced they are going to streamline operations, cutting a bunch of executive level and corporate level jobs, eliminating 1,500 jobs. Some of these are positions that are currently empty, not yet refilled. Some of them are, unfortunately, a lot of them are going to be layoffs. It's because Walmart wants to streamline their technology. Let's make no mistake in this. A lot of this has to do with AI. Walmart's investing heavily in using AI, reducing the need for some staff for basic everyday tasks, and that's going to result in cuts here. It'll be interesting to see exactly where they are. They have not announced. The areas that are being impacted are likely areas that oversee things like Google TVs on streaming players, those brand new Onn Google TV Pros and other streaming players have become very popular with cord cutters, are Walmart owned and managed, and some of the executives or even staff could lose their jobs. Also, the Onn branded Roku TVs are also some of the areas that could be very well targeted for this. Well, I don't think Walmart's going to stop manufacturing either of them. The teams behind them could look very different. A lot's going to be made of this, but I think a big part of it, and I already said it, has to do with AI. Walmart is heavily using AI to manage their things. We talked about in a video on my other YouTube channel some of the new stuff coming to Walmart stores. Things like using cameras to monitor cart corrals to let employees know when they need to go restock the carts, bring them in from the parking lot, by instead of having managers walk over there and look at them and say, I think we could use some. AI will now track how many people in the store, how many carts are being left the corral, and more. And then when they get below a set number, it'll ding employees, just tell them to go outside and go collect carts. And we're also seeing a growing number of trends of cameras flooding stores to track inventory. I know you see this at other grocery stores and more. Those little robots go up and down the aisles. Others are using cameras all over the place to track inventory to help make sure things are restocked and never get out of stock. In the past, those were managers. Not just that, but the higher up, tracking, ordering, processing in different areas are all being turned over to AI. Definitely impacting the number of layoffs here. Keep an eye on that. I definitely will be. All right, next story up. AT&T is getting the band slowly back together. Numbers I saw, AT&T is the largest seller of fiber in the United States. CenturyLink is the third largest. Now they're going to be combining in a deal here. Now with this, Lumen Technologies is being bought by AT&T. Lumen is the new name for CenturyLink, and they still sell the residential and so I think some commercial ones under the CenturyLink brand with that. But with it all, you'll be interesting to see how that plays out. AT&T is a massive media giant. Adding CenturyLink to it will be even bigger. Now to skirt some of this, AT&T is going to put this company, CenturyLink and stuff, into a third-party company, a new independent organization that will be wholly owned by AT&T basically with this, and run by AT&T. It's a $5.75 billion deal with a B on that. They'll add over 4 million fiber locations across 11 states with this. Now, CenturyLink is all over. I've had CenturyLink when I lived in Texas and Missouri, but a couple of the big ones that this adds is Denver, Las Vegas, Minneapolis, Orlando, Phoenix, Portland, Salt Lake City, Seattle, and other areas to it. Those are just a handful of the major markets that AT&T will get their hands on. Consolidation's happening. Now that there's new competitors, and let's be honest, AT&T and CenturyLink aren't direct competitors. From my knowledge, there's really no major markets where they both offer their service to the same customer. Maybe there's a few wild examples here and there. But overall, AT&T is wanting to expand its reach as 5G home internet and others become a big issue with their competition. Cable, of course, has always been a big competitor. But in the past, so if you were lucky, it was DSL and cable, and then cable and fiber. And now it's 5G home internet, satellite, and other fiber providers. I actually live where I am back in Michigan, have 2 fiber companies competing for my business there. So it's very interesting to see AT&T now trying to buy up some of those to expand their footprint with it. It has to pass through regulatory approval. If you're an AT&T or CenturyLink customer, no changes immediately for you. This will be a long process as it goes through regulatory approval, and even once it gets approved and closes, it will take a little time before you see changes. These things rarely on day one make big changes when that happens. But we'll watch it closely. AT&T getting the old Ma Bell company slowly back together with this deal. All right, if you're a Roku owner, whether it be Roku TV or Roku players, you may have noticed a new app mysteriously appear on your home screen. The Roku City App is a new app that brings you quick access to the Roku City App. That's really all it does. They just put a quick link on your Roku home screen to launch into the Roku City screensaver, which is honestly, it's pretty popular with people. It's a screensaver that has tons of hidden movie themes and references to TV shows and more, plus a lot of advertising with it. And Roku wants you to enjoy it and use it more, because the more you use it, the more ad revenue they generate from it. And to do that, they wrote an app. Now, good news is you can hide the app. Highlight the app on your home screen, hit the little star or asterisk key, and select Hide App. And the app will vanish from your home screen. You can re-add it if you so choose. So at least they allowed it to be removed. Kind of wish it was an option to add. I understand why Roku makes a majority of their money from ads and subscriptions. They really want you to watch the ads because that's the vast majority of how they make their money now. All right, let's keep moving along. Plex added 7 new free channels to the Roku, to its Roku app and more. I said Roku there. I'll get to that why I mentioned that one in particular and others. But with this, Plex added a bunch of new channels, including PBS, a PBS channel dedicated to family history, Cowboy Channel, Lifetime Movies, LOS, Stand Up, and more has all been added in 7. This comes as the Plex app on Roku has received a major update recently, adding a bunch of features and a new look to it. If you use the Plex app, you may notice some changes to the way it looks. It's another free ad-supported streaming service and media manager available on multiple devices. All right, ready to feel a little old? Today's TV history this week, Johnny Carson's final episode as host of The Tonight Show. Somebody correct me, but I believe after Jay Leno took over, he appeared a few times after that. But with him as the lead host, ended 33 years ago on May 22nd, 1992. Can you believe that that's been 33 years ago? It drew an estimated 50 million viewers. Let's be honest, the shows that happen at night today, that's just probably never happen again. There's more competition. The shows aren't the cultural phenomenons they once were. And now, well, some of it you can argue, oh, maybe the hosts aren't as good. I think a lot of it has to do, to be honest with you, is there's more time, more options out there. You know, it used to be when you were in bed at night, you weren't not turning on Netflix because it didn't exist. You didn't pick what you wanted. All there was these late night shows, so you watched them. Now you have options. But Johnny Carson, 33 years ago, signed off to 50 million people. I once heard a report way back when Johnny Carson was at his peak. When he would go to commercial, the plumbing in New York City saw a surge of water use because people would run to the bathroom, use the bathroom. Not sure that story's true, but I've heard it quite a few times. It caused some problems for the city water department managing the water usage with it. All right, next up, Sling TV partners with Vizio to integrate locals into their guide. Now with this, if you have a Vizio smart TV owned by Walmart, you'll be able to use your antenna connected to your TV and have your locals put directly into the Sling TV app. If you follow me for a while, you know I've long said that Sling TV, if you have an antenna, is one of the best and most affordable options for television. Not the only, but it is one of the best options out there. With that though, Sling TV has offered other devices to do this in the past, like their own Air TV devices to connect your antenna to your Sling TV app and even stream it outside your home. To get all your locals free with an antenna, pay Sling TV a reduced rate to get things like ESPN and other such channels. It's good to see them partnering with Vizio. I hope more smart TV manufacturers work with Sling to do something similar with that. And next up, Hulu Plus Live is losing access to its one of its popular music channels. With this, Hulu has started to inform customers that Vevo, V-E-V-O, I apologize, featured channel will be leaving the service as of June 26th. This comes as they're going to be adding Newsmax to the lineup later this summer also. Just a minor little channel shift there. You should have been notified if you're one of the impacted customers by this. If not, check your email. You'll be finding an email soon from Vizio or from Hulu. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all have a fantastic holiday weekend. I'll be back all weekend with breaking news, reviews, tips, tricks, and more. Huge thank you to everybody for support. 5,000 new subscribers in the last few weeks. Really do appreciate it. Until next time, I hope you all have a great holiday if you're here in the United States or Memorial Day. With my wife serving over 20 years in the Army, retired from the Army, it means a lot to us. And I know we all probably have been touched by somebody who has served. So until then, I see you next time. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.